Next on our list is Marcella Farrell. She's going to present a flag that is now flying at Cushing Memorial. There's going to be one at Cushing Memorial at the monument, and there's going to be one in the rotunda. So I would like to call on Marcella, who traveled all the way from New York with her husband to be here today to present this flag. And again, it's called the Never Forget. And don't forget that because it's coming up.
Thank you. I'd like to thank everyone for coming here today. I'd also like to thank Don McNeil, the Massachusetts State Coordinator of the Missing in America Project, and Larry Herson for inviting us here today. Today is a perfect example of the essence of America, the very heart of our liberty. Here we are, able to gather together today or any other day without fear of reprisal from our government. We seldom give a second thought to this freedom. But in some countries, the very whisper of the word freedom brings a death sentence. Who protects this incredible luxury for us? Those who have given what Abraham Lincoln called the last full measure of devotion. Today is the day that calls us to honor the members of our armed forces who have given their lives in service to America. There's only one day a year that's dedicated to remembering these men and women. But for the family of every fallen service person, every day is Memorial Day. In one shattering moment, the life they knew, everything they hoped for in their future, is gone. Their lives are now governed by a different calendar, one marked not by events of fullness and joy, but by anniversaries of emptiness and pain. Their families feel this terrible loss forever. But as we go about our daily lives, the rest of us often become engulfed in our work and our family, and our appreciation for their sacrifice fades. To many, the Memorial Day weekend has mostly become known as the start of summer, a 3-day weekend for travel or barbecues. We forget and we take our freedoms for granted, and we forget about those who paid the ultimate price for them. I hope that the Armed Forces Memorial Tribute Flag is a way to help ensure that we always remember them and what they did for us. I was asked to explain a little about how the flag came to be. When President Reagan died, we lowered our flag to half-staff. After 30 days, it remained lowered. With men and women fighting and dying overseas, my husband felt that leaving our flag in a position of mourning was a way for us to keep the spirit of Memorial Day in our heart every day. I know from the questions people asked about why our flag was still lowered that our tribute to our soldiers wasn't clearly understood. There are countless monuments to honor generals, battles, and wars. But I wondered what speaks for the memory of those everyday soldiers, the countless unsung heroes who die in battle and slip silently into history, their sacrifice remembered only by their families. The answer came to me in the form of this flag. The 13 stars on the flag represent the original 13 colonies and the spirit of independence that brought about the birth of this nation. The soldier's cross in the center is a recognized symbol to honor those who are killed in battle. I used the M1 Garand rifle from World War II to pay homage to my dad and to my husband's dad, both who served in that war. The words on the flag remind us that we can never forget that freedom is not free, and that in service to our country there is always sacrifice. I felt that the message of the flag would be clear, that each of us breathes the air of freedom because others have fought and died to win and preserve it for us. I gave the design to my husband as an early anniversary gift and planned to have a flag made for him. But he and other veterans that he showed it to felt strongly that others might want to pay the same tribute to our soldiers and our fallen armed forces. So we started Never Forget Flag as a way to make that happen. Since then, many families have contacted us. We've heard stories of devastating loss and crushing grief, and also stories of infinite courage and soaring hope. They use this flag as a personal, visible, and permanent way for them to pay tribute to their lost loved one and the sacrifice they made. As Americans, we have the solemn, painful responsibility to remember our fallen heroes and to ensure that future generations know the extraordinary price they were willing to pay for us. We owe them our deepest respect and gratitude for the terrible and wonderful sacrifices they made. At the same time, it is also our profound privilege to honor and take great pride in our veterans, to thank them for their service, as well as the men and women who even now stand strong and ready to defend us. As guardians of our nation, they are all that stand between us and those who wish us harm. My hope is that this flag will someday fly throughout the nation, that it will act as a visible touchstone between present and future generations to ensure that they understand and appreciate what the members of our armed forces do for our country. We owe them all so much more than that, but that's really all that we have to give them. Today is Memorial Day. This is their day. This is when we stop and say thank you. We will never forget you. While the light of their life on this earth may be extinguished, the memory of them must shine on in our hearts forever. God bless America, and God bless all who faithfully serve her. Thank you.